my current, I don't know if I'd call him a mentor, but when I have questions, I call Jim Johnson, who's now a player development for the Anaheim Ducks. But we've coached together. Our kids have played together up in camps, up at the up on the junior prep camp up in on Vancouver Island, and he and I were both coaching there. But I just talked to him 2 days ago about trying to figure out how to help the Trail Smoke Eaters recruit better players. And we have these really great conversations, and he's from here, so he understands what's going on here. We talk about my team. We talk about his team. His team did about as well this year as my team did. And he's at the top level, and I'm thrashing around at the bottom level. But I think, Wally, for your situation, it's kind of how the association presents it, and how they tell people why you're there, and how I don't think you can force people to participate, but you got to find a way to maybe have an introductory meeting or several, and just get to know people, because this is a people-to-people business, and it can't be a top-down. You got to do it this way. You got to do it that way. Ironically, a week from tomorrow, I'm going to have a conversation with a guy in our program about doing almost exactly the same thing that you're going to do. But I also want to coach a team. So we'll see what happens. I mean, hockey coaches they're pretty stubborn in their way of doing things. I shouldn't say just hockey coaches. I think a lot of leaders are very set in their ways, and it's hard to convince them that there's a better way. And personally, for me, I've been demonstrating it with the teams I coach. And if that's what I end up doing this year and just coaching one more team, I'll help another 18 kids and their families and demonstrate it all over again. And eventually maybe somebody will say, geez, we'd like a little of that too. So anyways, guys, I got a 10:45 meeting at my real office. It is 20 minutes away. So I'm going to have to jump off. I will look forward to the video on this, though, Wally. That's great, and congratulations. I hope you can find a way to do this, because I had lunch with a woman yesterday who used to work with PCA, Positive Coach, and she actually hired me to be a trainer. And I told her I might not coach anymore. She said, no, you can't quit. There's too many kids that need you. Wally, there's too many kids that need you. Your mic's off.
I don't coach anymore, so I don't directly affect kids, but I'm trying to influence coaches to affect their kids in a positive way. And I think it's a different role, and I really enjoy it. And I feel more comfortable with the emotional intelligence side of coaching, the ethical side of coaching, and the management of people. And really, the essence is trust and respect, creating an environment with the association that is going to filter through every team at every level and affect the parents and the players, and more importantly, the administration, to understand what they're doing and why they're doing it. So thanks very much, Hal, and get to work.
See you guys next week.
Okay, and I'm going to ask Peter to come in now. And before you leave, Al, the thing that I'm worried about is getting paid to do something which I think might destroy the effectiveness of what I'm doing. So, Peter Whitney is out hiking.
Yeah,
there you are.
Yeah, I'm at the beach. Yeah. So it's funny. There must be something at the beach. So use the phrase. Must be something in the water, so to speak, because along with you and Hal, I think I might have mentioned this to you a little bit. I was also offered a similar type of position, and my first question, Wally, would be so I'm not here there's a president, vice president, and then there's board members. So what I first did when I was trying to put this thing together, I'm still trying to decide if I'm going to do it or not. I guess similar to you, is what are you looking for and what are your issues? Because they say, well, you know, we really want someone with your experience. That really doesn't, that's not really helpful. That's like just telling a player they have to work hard to get in the lineup without giving them anything tangible. So for me, from watching the organization and speaking with the board, the president, communication for them is a key issue. So my role is going to be the communication with parents and with the coaches. And I'm honestly really excited about doing your mission statement exercise with both groups. But for you, I mean, I would really try to find tell me exactly what tangible, what are you looking for? If you can put it in bullet points for me, that's great, because now I can see A, B, C, what areas are important to you. Because again, like you said, you're getting paid, you're working for that organization. So they must have something in their mind, I'm guessing, that they either need supported and or corrected. So I would have that type of conversation with them and find out exactly what those points are and share with them your ideas. And if everybody's smiling, and then you know it's going to be a good experience.
Well, Peter, it's interesting because last season is the only time I felt I really accomplished something with the mission statement exercise with Tom's team. I got into the trenches with his parents because I did the exercise for them, just the parents. And so, like you, my plan is to do the exercise with the coaches. Ideally, all three coaching staffs, because I know at once for the U13 team and the U15 teams. And the reason for that is the people I worked with last year, like Tom's moving to U15, he knows what the exercise is, the impact it had, and he supports its value. And having a coach in the group of coaches that are trying to do it the right way, but sometimes pressured by their parents to not do it the right way. And it's not all parents, it's a chosen few or an administrative few who have gotten into the leadership positions in the board that allow them to coach in a non-developmental way, in a way that ignores the process. So that's sort of my intention, Peter, and I think you're on the right track. And I don't know. The thing that worries me most, Peter, is being paid for it. And I'll take it. I like to get gas money and that kind of thing, but I just want to make an impact. And the Sharks really, to me, are the offshoot of mentorship, in that we talk to each other. Well, we're sharing thoughts with each other. We're learning and listening from each other. So to me, everybody wants to do good. They really do. They don't come in there to screw up things. And you can win in a good way, and you can win in a way that isn't as professional as you think it is. And separating the business of sport with the sport of sport and the minor hockey development. And when I say minor hockey, I'm talking junior and down. I don't talk college. I don't talk minor professional or major junior where they moved away from home and they're trying to get drafted. But everything up to that point is affected by the highest level and the model of what they do to get success. So I don't know if that makes sense or not, but you know, I have one other person on here, Rick Puttock, and then Jordan, I'm going to ask you to sort of synthesize things that you've heard because you seem to do that well, being an administrator and listening well. But Rick, you've been there, done that. You coached your son growing up in the same community. You're now back mentoring that community. We worked with it for 4 years together using the P3 program from out in Cochrane. But now you are where you are. So can you talk a bit about your background, Rick, and to where you've gotten to a point now that you're mentoring?
Well, yeah, I've worked with a local rural association for the benefit of the others. It's not a big city organization. The last 2 years, it's been as a formal mentor, paid position. The first year was quite light in terms of participation and acceptance. Last year, with 20 teams, I was able to connect with 65% or 13 of the teams on a regular basis, to varying degrees. One team I spent a considerable amount of time with, and I'm just in the throes. We're just getting together to do a year-end roundup, wrap up, and try to determine what they want to do next year. And they're coming to me. I'm taking that as a positive that they're willing to pursue this further. It's been a growing process. It's not something you can just jump into and say, you know, here I am, follow me, do what I say. I've found that you've got to edge your way in and earn the trust and the respect. Notwithstanding the respect that I have in the community for what coaching I've done over the years. The younger fellas, I guess rightfully so, feel they've got it figured out and they should be allowed to follow their path unimpeded as long as it's not doing any real serious harm to anyone. And I've just learned to ease my way into those situations and make myself somewhat useful with the hope that they will see that maybe something further can be taken from it. And as further background, when I started coaching, I wasn't overly enthused about anybody sticking their nose in my business and just jumping in and telling me I should do things this way or the other. I was good at seeking out other people that I respected and felt that they had something to offer if I had a situation that I wasn't sure how to deal with. So I understand how it is from the other side. But as far as the situation you're entertaining, Wally, I've found it quite rewarding. You're going to get some pushback. You're going to get, as I did this year, some people saying, I just don't have to listen to you. And that's fine. You have that opinion. I'm not going to force that on you. But it didn't deter me from doing what I was doing. It was part of what, in that situation, part of what the mentoring is for me is that you've got to get a coaching staff that's on page with each other. And in that situation, in my opinion, they weren't on side with each other, never mind an interloper coming from the outside to try and influence things. So it's a challenge, but it's no different than trying to get 18 or 20 players to do what you want. You never accomplish 100% results with that either, in my experience. You get varying degrees of acceptance and follow through. The more successful you are in that area, the more successful your teams seem to function.